Hey everyone, Rick Soukoulis here. Time to do a little mortgage math. I've been on sales for the last couple of weeks, but I want to hit the math real quick. Here's a simple math on sales, and I'm going to run through some things here. 80% of sales happen after the fifth touch or the fifth call. They happen on call 5 through 12. So you're sending out an email, you don't even know if it got to them. Have you made a sales call? Have you done a pop by? What are the activities that you're doing to make sure you get into this 5 to 12 range? So real quick, we're going to talk about the two different kinds of salespeople today. But last week we talked about the guiding principles behind sales, the strategies, the things you got to think about. I'm going to talk about that for about 15 seconds, and I'm going to jump right into grinders versus natural salespeople. So look, we talked about the law of reciprocity, give to receive, creating value by creating scarcity. How do you become an authority? Stay consistent in what you do. People like, essentially, from people they like is who they'll buy from. And it's good to get peer ratings or your peers talking about your realtors and others. So if you want to go back and review that, it's on our website. It's a blog that I wrote, and there'll be documents for all of this. But anyway, look, grinders versus natural salespeople. A lot of people think salespeople are born, and a lot of people think salespeople are made. And the reality is it can happen either way. So I'm going to give you an example of both. Look, grinders. Kevin Perino, guy's a grinder. Got a lot of natural talent too, but total grinder. Over here, Chris Vincent, natural, charismatic, the orange coat, over at Windsor Mortgage. Great guy, but also a grinder, the activity. So let's look at what we have to do to grind it out, whether you're a natural born salesperson and you've been told that your whole life, natural born salespeople also fail. Or whether you're a grinder and you can't make it happen. There's a combination of both. So let's look at this from a sales personality standpoint. How do you apply the strategies and what do you need to do? So grinders, they set goals. Once they have a goal in their sight, they're like a dog with a bone. They're all about generating new leads, being out in front all the time. They have a deep, deep understanding of their products that they love to share. If you listen to KP, the reason I said that about him, every day, 9 minutes, 59 seconds, on the market, on products, on those sorts of things. They stay on top of their leads and their tasks. You call these people and you're going to get a call back. They have a task to do, they're going to get that task done. They're all about follow up and finish. They stay on top of industry trends. They don't give up, and this is the one that I love. I was told when I first got into business, you need to learn to love rejection. Rejection just means ask me a different way. So once you put a strategy together, here are the things that I need to do. Here's how I'm going to get out in front of people. Then you have to have a tactical plan. Sales is tactical. Marketing is strategic. Sales and marketing is what salespeople do. They execute tactically on whatever the strategy is. So let's go over here to the naturals. My friend Chris. You know what I just stepped out of the frame. You know what I love about that orange coat? Everywhere you go, boom, there he is, right? Yet you can't miss him. And just a natural charisma. If you haven't gone on one of his sales calls and you're a mortgage broker, I suggest that you do it. So natural charisma flows out of these people. They're good listeners. They'll listen and listen and listen. And while they're listening, they're thinking about what they're going to present next. They're very adaptable. So while they're listening to you, they may be changing their presentation based upon the outcome. And they have great persuasive skills. These things come naturally to some people, but they can totally be trained. Totally. The next thing is their follow through, consistently learning, persistent, and they embrace rejection. So guess what? Numbers 4 down on both of these are the same. They're learned behaviors. And I'm going to end with this. You can learn to do anything, and you have to embrace change. And one of the greats in our industry, a good friend of mine, Bill Dallas, told me a long time ago, fear and discomfort must be greater than reality before people will change. Fear and discomfort must be greater than reality. Right now, the fear and discomfort is, where the heck is my next loan going to come from? That's creating the discomfort that will get people to act. Take the time to look at these things, develop your plan, and move. Fear is always worse than the reality. Okay? Fear is always worse than the reality. If you remember when you were a little kid and you go to the junior high school dance and you were so afraid to ask that girl to dance, or something you were afraid to do, once you did it, you overcame it. All of these things are the same. If you don't like to call on open houses, you're fearful of what might happen, you may not do it. I saw online last week, some guy went to 20 open houses, met, I don't know how many realtors and buyers, just out there working it. He was grinding it out. So 90% of life is just showing up. And I was having this conversation with my oldest daughter, and I'm going to end on this, last week. And I said, honey, you got to watch this little clip from the movie Maverick. And there's this great scene where Maverick's talking to Goose, who's like, his son rather, who's like this great fighter pilot, but he just won't engage. And he says, you got to just do. Don't think, do. So in sales, build your strategy, build it around principles that you can live by, adhere to, that are going to create a fruitful relationship with you and your customers. And then put these things together. Put a plan together and attack, and grind. And you'll hear a lot of this online today. A lot of grinding, a lot of commercials about grinding. But each individual has to put together their own plan that works for them, or they're not going to do it. So I suggest, if you're having a tough time right now, take a few days, put together a plan, start to execute one thing at a time. If you're going to be in Vegas this weekend, I'll see you there. Ready Price is going to be there showing. If you're watching this video, or you've ever watched one of my videos, come on by our booth. I'd love to see you. Next week, I'm going to start selling our product to you. Hey, thanks for sticking around. Bill D, I hope I see you there in Vegas too. Talk to you soon.